episode of The Positive Side of the Bad Stuff. I'm Leslie Pogue, your host. Today, I have to tell you, and I know she thinks I'm exaggerating, but I'm so not, and she knows I love her to pieces. I have the most amazing, most wonderful mentor I've ever run across. I've known her through Toastmasters, but she has done so many other things, and that's really what we're going to talk about today. My guest today is Professor Regina Rhymes. Welcome her. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Leslie. Thank you so much for the opportunity just to chit-chat with one of my favorite individuals.
Yay!
Yeah.
Thank you. It's a mutual love, y'all. You got to understand. We love each other. You know. But I wanted to have you on because, again, and I'll share, I met Regina through Toastmasters. And I've grown, and she's been such a mentor in there. And when I saw just her, here's the thing about Regina. She's one of those people you can't say no. And that was the biggest thing. And I'd heard that all the time when I first started in Toastmasters. But then I started growing in leadership. And I started to realize, they were right. You cannot tell this woman no. But the reason why is not just because that she's in a role of power or in a leadership role. The reason why is because you want to help her. And that's really a great thing in leadership. It's a wonderful soft skill to have, persuasion. To be able to persuade people, not just necessarily to do what you want them to do, but to want to be there with you and to want to be on the team. And that's one of the things that really stood out for me with you. And I really was excited when I was an area governor under your team for that very reason. So that was another reason why I wanted to have you on. But I also knew about your life outside of Toastmasters. So tell everybody a little bit about what you do outside of Toastmasters.
Sure. Maybe I can start off by just sharing who I am as a person, some of my upbringings. I grew up in South LA. I'm from a family of 6.
Wow.
We were one of the first African American blended families that were pretty successful. We were the Black Brady Bunch.
All right. I like it. We need one for us too. I like it. It's awesome.
So my stepdad had 3 sons. My mom had 3 girls, and
you really were.
Yes, we were. We had just very some of the similar issues that they had in the Brady Bunch. We did too,
Wow.
and we were able to overcome them, resolve them through just communication,
Nice.
lesson,
Wow.
perseverance.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So how did you get into being a teacher? How did you start instructing?
Yeah, well, many people have shared with me from childhood games that I've always wanted to be the teacher.
Really?
You know when you do the makeup whirl and...
Did you ever lay pages out on the floor?
And the card boxes for the desk.
Of
Yeah,
course.
yeah. So
Yeah,
it was ingrained.
Because that's what you were,
Yes.
though. Back then, you were either a secretary, a nurse, or a teacher.
Yes.
Those
yes.
were the 3 main ones for
Yes.
women. That's what you just were taught that that's what you're going to be. Yeah. Yeah, wow.
And so I didn't know that I was going to teach on a college level.
Nice.
I had this incredible mentor, Dr. Bedell. Dr. Bedell was this man that had just a fountain of knowledge. And for the longest time, I really did think that he walked on water. He could do no wrong.
I love it.
And he took me under his wing. Not only was I just fascinated with just the way that he was able to present information, but he was totally the opposite of me, and he took me under his wing. He was a Caucasian male, bald in the middle, Republican.
Wow, that is opposite. Oh my goodness, that's
the,
wonderful.
Yes,
It's great to come across those mentors.
Yeah,
we need those.
They make a world of a difference.
They do.
World of a
They
difference.
really do.
He removed obstacles, opened doors for me, and would just coach me along the way. So I'm a true believer in mentorship.
And we see that. I've seen it in you a lot. So yeah, that's wonderful. The gift that he gave you,
Yes.
and not just the education and the growth of your own career, but he's given you motivation to help others as well, which is priceless.
Yes.
Because we all need people that have gone before us to say, hey, no, I'll help you.
Yes.
No problem.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
happy to help you.
Yes.
That's really important.
Yes.
Wow, that's
Yes.
fantastic.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. So what's going on now? I mean, how have you grown in that area, and what's going on with you now?
Yeah, well, thank you for asking. I'm a full-time professor at Cypress College,
Love it.
and I'm the chair of the department,
Yay.
which is really nice because I'm able to be part of bringing in wonderful young minds who have a passion for sociology and do some administrative steps to make sure that our program meets the needs of the students. And so that's nice. And I recently accepted a position as the legacy coordinator.
Legacy
Yes.
coordinator. Oh my goodness. So now what does that mean? I mean, that sounds, I've always loved the word legacy because it's one of those words that's just big in and unto itself. So what does that mean? What does that do?
Well, basically, on a spiritual level, is everything that I've done thus far has come to full circle. Before I took on a full-time position as a professor, I worked in a mentoring organization, Big Brothers, Big Sisters. And in that organization, we're able to identify and facilitate not only mentors, but resources to make sure that these kids had to make sure they were able to have an equal playing field.
Nice. They need that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so we created programs, writing programs, pen pal, and different days to celebrate womanhood.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
That's nice.
Yeah.
Wow. So tell me a little bit about the Cypress College Legacy Program.
Sure.
What's that about?
So the Legacy program consists of several different parts. One, it is a mentoring component.
All right.
The second component is an awareness program, awareness of what resources are within the community. And then the third component would be the content component. The mission of the Legacy program is to take students from basic skills and bring them up to college level in which they're able to compete when they transfer over. So get them ready for transferring to the universities.
Okay.
So we want to build the self-esteem as well as build the skills by having mentors, make sure that they're aware of what resources are available on campus.
Okay.
And 3, to make sure that they are taking the courses that are needed as a cohort.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So they can transfer over. So it's just not just basic classes, but we have them taking critical thinking skill English classes as well as Afro ethnic studies.
Wow. So now, what is the age group? Is this college students or is this high school? It started high school.
So this is for students that are graduating from high school.
All right.
Unfortunately, with many campuses and colleges, our students are not starting off on university level writing, that they're starting off with high school writing. So,
right, which is unfortunate because I know back when I was in high school, they had college prep. So does that still exist, or is it just kind of whatever it is you're preparing for?
Well, that's what we're hoping for in the Legacy program, is to prepare them. Just because a person graduates from high school, they might have the desire, but they just need to be able to have different resources to get them to one level. They may be high on one level, maybe in mathematical skills, but maybe not there when it comes to reading and writing. So we just want to make sure the equity is there.
Okay, I see.
28 Days to Happy is your daily guide to walk you through acknowledging and accepting the truth about what's really going on in your world, to forgive yourself and others for the wrongs you feel have been done to you, and ultimately to identify and celebrate the happiness that is always there, no matter what comes your way. Look for 28 Days to Happy at www.softskillsdirect.com or at Amazon.
Wonderful. So I mean, so in high school then, does it start 11th grade, 12th grade? Where in high school does it start? Is the starting age?
You mean to
participate in
No. The Legacy program is actually for students that graduate from high school.
Okay, so once you've graduated, then you go into college. Now, is it only available at Cypress College?
There are several different types of programs that are similar to the Legacy program.
Okay.
One is the Puente program, but Legacy has programs in different schools.
Okay, nice.
Not as many as we would like for them to have, but it's a learning community.
Started. Yeah.
It's,
Wonderful.
it's a learning community that's been around at Cypress since 2000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right, so it's coming into its own. It's
Yeah.
really starting to
Yeah.
form that new voice because
Yes.
everything transitions.
Yes.
Everything does, and now we are dealing with more with the millennials, and they're saying that the millennials will be our leaders come 2020 or 2035. I think it's 2020, and so we are starting to prepare them to move into leadership, and
Yes.
they need those mentors. For
Yes,
that. That's
yes.
fantastic.
And then also, this is the extra part, is that we want to help them to learn more about the African American experience. The target population that we have are African Americans. And we want them to learn not only the challenges, but also about the great leaders. When I did social work, when I would ask young people, what do you want to be when you grow up? Many of them would say, oh, I want to be not a doctor, but a hairstylist, a basketball player, or a professional dancer. They wanted to be what they saw within the community, what they thought was achievable.
Achievable, exactly.
And through this program, the students will learn a lot more, not only the experience, the struggles that came once we came to America, so to speak,
Sure.
because we were here a lot before slavery time, but
Exactly.
usually that's the narrative that we
is
were
the
given.
narrative that we're
Right.
given.
So they'll learn about some of the great pioneers in the women's movement that look like you and I. They will learn about more about fantastic African American leaders besides President Obama and Martin Luther King.
Right, exactly.
And
There were
Malcolm
more
X.
than just those
Yes.
2 or 3. We had a few others
Yes,
out there.
yes. And so they will also have exposure to high culture that is African American. They'll be able to go to Alvin Ailey dance recitals. Yes.
I almost wore my T-shirt today. I almost did. I tried not to.
Yes.
Oh
yes,
my goodness, that's
yes,
wonderful. I
yes.
mean, because that's wonderful to hear because those 3, and I'm sure there are a few others, but mainly the ones that they did. I mean, I was just as guilty of it too growing up too, and my friends did the same thing. The choices we were making weren't academic choices.
Yes.
They were what we saw as ways to make money quickly. And there's been so many strides with technology and with information letting us know of all the people of color that are scientists, mathematicians, physicists, and psychologists, and all of that. And it's nice to hear that there's a program that's bringing that awareness to our young folks because they do need to understand that you can have a successful, financially wealthy, or even just satisfying life in an academic way.
Yes.
Because the world needs, I mean, we've seen it on the news, we've seen that we are in desperate need, especially in the United States, for mathematicians and scientists. And if some of them can beat us, that would be phenomenal.
I think that's important. It's important. And then also, Leslie, you touched upon a really good point that everything is a process.
Everything is
like
a process.
Education is not an event.
It's not an event.
Work is not an event.
It is not.
It is a process, and that's the beauty of a program like Legacy in an institutional higher education environment, is that you get to learn that it's a process, and then how do you navigate in this process by bringing in resources. We believe that on a spiritual level, is that we all have a purpose in life, and it would be done in vain if we don't share this purpose with other people.
Absolutely.
Choose happy, the habit of happy that is. Achieve ultimate happiness in only 28 days at the workshop coming to you this September. Register today to save $100. Go to www.softskillsdirect.com to learn more and to register.
That is a great place to stop. I love that you shared that with us and what you're doing. If anybody wanted to get a hold of you or interested
Sure.
in the program, how do they find that out?
Thank you, Leslie. rhymes at cypresscollege.edu. They can also reach me 714-484-7000, extension 48 595.
Fantastic, fantastic. Regina, you know how much I adore you. Thank you so
Same
much
here,
for being
Leslie.
here. I just gotta give you a hug.
Thank you, Leslie.
darling.
Thank you
I
so
love you
much.
Thank you.
This is
So
a
you
wonderful
guys,
evening.
hey, tune in. We're gonna have a great time. Stay in all my shows. Go, be, do.